Senate President Bukola Saraki has called on the federal government and military authority to prioritize the welfare of both serving and retired personnel in the view of the enormous sacrifice they've rendered to sustain the peace and security of the country. Saraki made the call in a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Yusuf Olaniyonu, in Abuja. Saraki lauded the national attention being accorded to the nation's armed forces through the annual celebration of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and said it is time to do more for the members of the armed forces still serving and those who have retired, while not neglecting the family of the fallen heroes, while commending the leadership and members of Nigerian Armed Forces for their continuous support to civil authority in ensuring safety of life and property in all parts of the country. He called them not to relent in restoring peace to all troubled parts of the country. He said that the National Assembly will continue to ensure that all the bills relating to the armed forces operation and welfare are given accelerated consideration and passage from time to time.
As part of moves to find a lasting solution to the insistent clashes between farmers and herdsmen in Benue State, President Muhammadu Buhari and stakeholders from Benue State held a meeting behind closed doors at the council chambers of the Aso Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting, which was at the instance of the Benue stakeholders to get an audience with the president, is aimed at addressing the root causes of the crisis, thereby providing solution to the problems which has led to the loss of lives and properties in the state. Briefing newsmen after the meeting, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom said until those behind the killings are arrested, there won't be meaningful progress in the course of resolving the issues.
It is a strong appeal to Mr. President to cause the arrest of those people that perpetuated this act. The Meitiala Cotton Hore, because they are not above the law. They did inciting statement against our people, and they came and perpetuated this act. And up to this time that I speak to you, they are still issuing out threats. And it is not just about the grazing, as they've been saying. It is about occupation, because the manner in which they come and invade the land and take over is something we think was bad. We are not willing to join issues with anyone. He did assure us that there is no room for impunity. The law of the land must take its course. So those perpetrators, the IG was in the meeting, he directed the IG that forthwith those people who perpetrated this act should be arrested and prosecuted according to the law.
Speaking on the proposed cattle colony solution by the federal government, the Benue State Governor said, having understood the concept of colony, Benue State does not have such land mass for cattle colony.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture happens to be a son of the soil. There are many options that are put on the table. Like I told you the last time I came here, I did not understood what colonies was. Today I was privileged to sit with him, and he did explain to me that a colony is about many ranches put in one place, restricted in one place, where the land is. So for us in Benue State, there is no 10 hectares. They are looking for 5,000 hectares. For us in Benue State, we have no 10 hectares to allow it for that kind of a thing to take place. So people are free. Other states have the land. We in Benue State, we don't have, and that was what led to us enacting this law. We're not sending anyone away from Benue State. The herdsmen, whether you're Igbo, Fulani, Hausa, or Tiv, or Idoma, or Igede, anywhere you come from, you are free to follow the law, obtain permit, and then you do your ranch, and you're protected. Benue State will protect you from cattle rustlers when you do this. And a farmer will also go to his farm without being intimidated or harassed by any herdsman.
The governor also took time to comment on the letters he had written to security agencies with no responses, stating clearly that the anti-grazing law is the way forward for the state.
And I believe that if no attention was given to my letter, I was told that it was being processed, and I hope by now it will be processed. And then action will be taken now that the entire delegation from Benue State is here, and Mr. President is directing the IG. I believe that something will be done on this matter. This is a law that originated from the people, and all the stakeholders, as you see them, they are solidly behind this law, because for us, we feel that that is the best way to end this farmers' herdsmen crisis. The law is a win-win. It provides security for the herdsmen, and it also provides security for farmers. And as far as we are concerned, the law, the implementation is going on smoothly in Benue State as I talk to you. Several people have been arrested and arraigned before the court of law, both from the herdsmen and also from the native.
However, in a statement from the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina, President Muhammadu Buhari called on the government and people of Benue State to exercise restraints following the recent attacks on some communities, assuring that all the perpetrators of the violence in the state will be made to face the wrath of the law. President Buhari pleaded with the people of Benue State to be more accommodating, stating that he is just as worried and concerned about the situation. The stakeholders delegation was led to the presidential villa by Governor Samuel Otom and his deputy Benson Abonu. Other prominent indigenes of the state that attended the meeting include former Senate President David Mark, former Governor of the state George Akume, the tall thief Professor James Ayashe, Barnabas Gemade, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Audu Ogbe, amongst others. From the ASU Presidential Villa, Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Taraba State Chapter, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to end herdsmen killing across the country so as to prevent the country from going into a civil war. At a press conference in Jalingo, the Taraba capital, camp chairman in the state, Reverend Ben Obe, said the recent killing across the country by suspected Fulani herdsmen were capable of drifting the country into an unprecedented civil war. This is even as they call on the Taraba State Governor, Dairos Ishaku, not to buy into what they describe as the cheap blackmail by the Métis Allah Cattle Breeders Association over the implementation of the open grazing prohibiting law. According to them, ranching is the way to go, and the federal government should stop playing politics with the lives of innocent Nigerians to please a particular group in the country. He said Mr. President seems to be sympathetic with his kinsmen going by his handling of the herdsmen killing in the country, while accusing the federal government of playing double standard on the issue of security in the country. Khan said the government last year declared independent people of Biafra as the terrorist group and launched Operation Python Dance and Crocodile Smile for the iPod and Niger Delta Avenger, but failed to do so on the issue of herdsmen, who has killed more people than Boko Haram.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanette.
Nanette?
Nanette offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanette, service with a smile.
Nigerian Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma, has assured Nigerians the economy will be better in 2018. Udoma gave the assurance in a statement signed by his media advisor, Mr. Apandem James, in Abuja. Udoma spoke at an economic forum organized by the Redeemed Christian Church of God, King's Court Parish, Lagos. The minister said that the economy will significantly be better in 2018, going by the consistent positive trend of the key indicators since the country emerged from recession in the second quarter of 2017. He said that international and local rating agencies have shared the same view that the Nigerian economy will grow rapidly in the year. Udoma said the growth will create opportunities for investment in the areas such as agriculture, agro-processing, industry, mining, and construction and services. The minister, however, assured that the federal government will continue to sustain the implementation of the Economic Recovery Growth Plan. In addition, he said the ministry has set up implementation unit to drive the implementation of the growth plan and to monitor the implementation of the critical initiatives. Udoma said the ministry will also organize laboratory in the critical area of agriculture, transportation, power, and gas, as well as manufacturing and processing.
The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has dragged a deputy director in the Federal Ministry of Works, Mr. Mohammed Abimiko, to court for an alleged embezzlement of 4.5 million naira belonging to the ministry. ICPC, in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Mrs. Rashidat Okodua, said the suspect was charged alongside an assistant director in the ministry, Micah Paman, who was the chairman of the ministry's Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, before Justice Adeniyi of the FCT High Court in Abuja on a 10-count charge bordering on using their offices to corruptly enrich themselves. One of the counts disclosed that Mr. Abimiko, as head of the special duties in the ministry, received 5 million naira meant for the celebration of the World Anti-Corruption Day in 2014 through his Diamond Bank account and diverted 4.5 million naira to his personal use in conspiracy with Mr. Paman. The defendants, after hearing the charges on them, pleaded not guilty. The trial judge, Justice Adeniyi, granted them bail in the sum of 10 million naira each, with a surety in like sum. The matter was adjourned to February 26, 2018 for trial.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo is among 14,771 persons expected to receive honor at the 7th convocation of National Open University of Nigeria. Vice Chancellor Professor Abdallah Adamu said this. The former president is expected to receive a doctorate in Christian theology. Adamu said this at a news briefing on the institution's 2018 convocation schedule for end of this month. He said that Obasanjo will be considered for an appointment as a facilitator or supervisor, as PhD was the least qualification for one to teach in the institution. The Vice Chancellor said that 14,771 was the highest number any institution in Nigeria had ever graduated at the convocation ceremony. He said that in spite of being a former president, Obasanjo conducted himself properly and deservedly bagged Doctor of Philosophy in Christian Theology. Adamu said that because of Obasanjo's achievement, the National Open University had received requests from other citizens